Welcome to another exciting and informative session of Career Guidance Unit of University of Kelaniya. I'm Thanuj Abeyrathne, the presenter for you today. AI, or when it comes to ChatGPT or Bard, it's some of the names we frequently heard. Most of our students even do their assignments using these AIs. We can create lots of new creations by Mid-Journey. Like those AIs, we can create so many creations. So, how does this affect the future job market as well as the personal growth of a student? So, today our topic is that the impact of AI on job market and the professional growth. So, to discuss about this exciting topic, today we have an esteemed panel to discuss about this topic. So, before starting the conversation, I would like to introduce you our invitees who have joined with us today for this panel discussion. So, first of all, we have Ms. Zahara Ansary, Country Head, AICPA and CIMA. Then we have Mr. Thilan Sampath, Country Head, Uzabase Incorporation. And finally, we have Professor Ravi Dissanayake from Department of Marketing Management, University of Kelaniya. So on behalf of the Career Guidance Unit, I would like to welcome you all to this panel discussion. So now, I think it's high time to start our panel discussion about this really exciting and informative topic, the impact of AI on employment and the personal growth. So first of all, my opening question goes to Mr. Thilan Sampath. So Mr. Thilan, how do you perceive the current impact of AI on employment and professional growth in our country?
Yeah, so thanks very much, first of all, inviting me and having this very timely topic today. To answer the question, I think we need to first understand the context a little bit and to see the audience, or the sectors that gonna impact. So if you look at Sri Lanka, I think it's generally this new type of technologies, new type of methods are it takes some time to come to here. So my personal experience is I work with the foreign markets, so therefore we see it happening today, but we will see it happening in Sri Lanka maybe in few years on the future. That's the usual scenario. So therefore, if you take the broader AI, now you mentioned about the things like ChatGPT, Google Bard, and Midjourney. Before those, now those came in around 1.5 years ago. Before those, I think, have you heard about AI? You haven't, right? You have heard the name, you have learned it in the university or CIMA, but you have never encountered in your real life. Because before that, it was B2B usually and used in like very specific use cases like, chatbot with customer services or like, algorithm-based trading for investments, etc. But what ChatGPT and OpenAI did in October 2022 is made this AI generic to the general public. That means it made it B2C. So what we want to, so this, in my view, has a big impact on the knowledge industry, knowledge-based output, not only Sri Lanka, throughout the world. And Sri Lanka already, has established workforce working for this industry. So starting from digital marketing, I was just telling to the professor, that is an industry that uses the knowledge part of the world, creativity. And I am from the background doing research on industries, on financial analysis and industry analysis. That is knowledge work. Then we have software engineers, which is knowledge work. So this industry, whoever working for this type of work in Sri Lanka has to be, bracing for this change. That is what I want to say is the impact. And this impact it has happened already. One reason is we are already working for the global market. So therefore, these changes and the impact comes immediately. So we have to be aware of what is happening, and we have to be making sure that we are at least adapting, and sometimes we take advantage of it. That is something I want to answer later in this discussion. This is a very good opportunity for us to take advantage. And adding a bit more details, for an example, now organization like us, we look at these technologies, how it is evolving as our job. So for an example, I cover, my team covers an industry called generative AI. So OpenAI and ChatGPT is just one company out of maybe 50 who is doing this kind of work. So we cover them day to day. So therefore, we are knowledgeable, and that's why I'm here. Even it's our job to transfer that knowledge to the rest of the Sri Lanka, so that we can benefit out of it, and we can be much more seasoned, or we can be much more what you call qualified people for this knowledge industry.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So now my next question goes to Ms. Zahara Ansary. So Ms. Zahara, with the rapid advancement of AI, what skills do you think that will become more increasingly valuable for professionals to thrive in the job market in the future?
Once again, thank you for the invite and for having me as part of this session. As you rightly said, and as Thilan alluded to, AI and all of that is currently present, and we need to have those skills for sure, right, to deal with AI. So one of the most important skills that one will need to have is digital skills. Be it, working with AI, Gen AI, all sorts of this. So the digital skills part of it, the digital literacy part of it, and most importantly, a digital mindset. Because without thinking, okay, this is how I'm going to be using digital skills to bring benefits to myself, to my organization, to my country, to the whole world, you will not be able to survive in the future. But one aspect that I also want to bring in here is, as much as technology is important, human skills are going to be extremely important in the future, because it's we, the humans, people like Thilan, who are going to make use of the digital skills, right? Who are going to make use of all these technologies to take things forward, to create, be it from software, to create things that help people and so on. So human skills, and when it comes to human skills, one of the best places that I would recommend you all to read up is the World Economic Forum reports that come out every year. It talks about the top skills that people will need for each year and for the future. So there, mostly it's things like creative thinking, analytical thinking, and even creativity, problem solving. We need to have all those skills, and we need to be able to work with the machines and with people. By now, I'm sure you guys probably know that you all are interacting with machines. You might not realize it. The IVRs on your phones, to the chatbots that's on the various websites. We are working with machines. So then, how do we as humans get the maximum out of it? So for the future, it's extremely important that we know how to use whatever technology that comes. Today, it's certain AI tools like the ChatGPT and so on. Tomorrow, it could be something totally different. It's not in one place, right? We're at an inflection point. Things keep changing. So we need to have the skills to make the most of it and have that mindset to keep growing with whatever that comes up.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Zahara, for that wonderful explanation. Then I'm moving towards Professor Ravi Dissanayake. So, Professor Ravi, as AI technologies continue to evolve, what are the ethical considerations that we need to keep in mind regarding their impact on employment and professional development?
Okay, good. Thank you very much for having me here representing the University of Kelaniya Education. And with the inclusion of these two speakers' initial seats, I can easily connect your question in this way. One part being in academia, how we set the people for these people to work. So remember, I think with your permission, I'll take quick 30 seconds. Now, universities, including my department, Marketing Management, University of Kelaniya, we produce graduates within 4 years.
Yes.
And it is not a secret now, we have to cross the line with technology.
Yes.
The movement, because there's nothing called big or small in this world now.
Yes.
Fast and slow. So we produce graduate 4 years in all faculties. Assuming by 2028, we got the new intake just recently. 2028, after 4 years, what these people expect from people.
Yes.
Actually speaking, I respect your thought. Yes, there are world index reports coming, but as academics, we should not depend on these reports too early, because we are in that fast changing environment. Next year report would tell something else for skill set. So that's how we produce the people they want. So where the ethic comes, let me connect to the thoughts of both of these speakers talk. We have nothing called, if you look at the technical terms of digital business, it is business. Yes. But business in digital environment. Now, for an example, we have AI. So we are yet to find the term called AI business. It is business powered by AI. I strongly believe maybe it's kind of a generational gap would come, but strongly believe another maximum 6-7 years ahead, frontiers of organization will be from alpha generation. Yes. And the immediate bosses will be from Z generation. Your CEOs still from X generation. So what they expect from human factor, what the alpha generation would expect from human factor would be false apart. So that's where we have to make our employees, make our human capital, let me use that word, human capital ready with human intelligence added by the artificial intelligence. Otherwise, we become technically slaves.
Yes.
That shouldn't happen.
Yes.
Because the day, now we are talking about the soft skills, people skills. Without people skills, you can't create synergy in your organization. What matters finally, you deal with not the machine. You deal with the human to human. That synergy cannot be replaced by a machine. I'm very sure, it my gut feel maybe, another 10 years down the line, now we talk about techno stress. Maybe another maximum 5, not even 10. There will be topics, articles, even theories to, sort out the problems of AI stress. It comes. So where the ethics is still organization, because once we produce our people, our human capital through the schools or maybe universities, rest of the life they will be with the people like that. Your organization should have ecosystem to connect that AI-powered work environment in the human sense. Humanization cannot be replaced. That's why we believe there will be huge responsibility for future human resources departments. They have to be well skilled, data driven, but still understand the human respect, digital soft skills. We need to read a lot. I don't think still that digital soft skills is yet finalized in this world, because it's cross-functional, even cross-cultural. Country-specific, context-specific, industry-specific. Yes. Digital soft skills should be established by the organization. Otherwise, ethics will be limited to a word. It doesn't impact the life. I think technology, it should connect to the life of people, and please nicely balance this technology, say AI, with the human intelligence. Then ethical environment can be seeded within the organizational ecosystem. We as academics, we have that responsibility. We do our best. We work together to produce ethically driven, AI-powered human capital.
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful explanation. So then again, I'm moving to Ms. Zahara. So as the country manager at AICPA and CIMA, so how do you see AI shaping the accounting and finance industry in terms of employment opportunities and career progression?
I think he already answers that to some extent, but let me get into the details. I see a vast amount of job opportunities that's going to get created with AI and related technologies. I'm not saying it just like that, but it's based on various researches that we've done. From Gartner to McKinsey to so many people have researched this, and they've all seen it. And we as a profession have also been, monitoring this, because end of the day, we are to provide the talent to work in the finance sector augmented by technology. So we see lots of opportunities. If I am to give you all examples, there are new job roles that have got created. Again, if you look at the research that I spoke about earlier, the World Economic Forum and so on, they actually give the stats of which jobs are increasing, which jobs are going down. So in the recent past, we've had data scientists who are CIMA qualified, who work in the finance sector. You have financial analysts, financial advisors. They all use AI and the technologies to do much better work. Because, I mean, if you look at the past, for those of you who are old enough as me, probably here, we used to do double entries. We used to have these massive size ledger books. We used to do everything manually, right? Now, do you even see those? Everything is automated, right? So that was one part of the change. But now, with AI coming in, with all those generative AI tools and all of that coming in, a lot of things are already automated. So finance jobs in the future are more towards creating value for the businesses, for the organizations, to bring in newer perspectives. As CGMA qualified professionals from AICPA and CIMA, we are not totally into financial accounting, but we are into management accounting. So what we do is we don't look at the past, but we look at how things can be changed in the future, scenario planning and all of that. So we can actually add a lot of value and bring a lot of significant value to the table. And I believe all those new roles, like it's not just the three areas that I spoke about, even risk, governance, there's so many opportunities that will come in from AI, and it's actually good times.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so now I'm moving towards Mr. Ravi. Beg your pardon, Mr. Thilan. So, Mr. Thilan, as the country head of Uzabase Sri Lanka, could you share your insights on how AI is fostering innovations and entrepreneurship in our country, and how it's influence for the professional growth?
Okay. Yeah, so if I look at again the context, I think we should look at how the global market is.
Yes.
I think within Sri Lanka, we see very little. In fact, I did a session on ChatGPT about a year ago with head of AI at Dialogue. And if you want to look at innovation, how it is working, you can, you should see what they are doing. This is a year ago, February last year. They had an AI team. And they were serving global clients because Dialogue being a leading telecom provider, having a software engineer pool, they have they are in the forefront of this business. So if you look at that industry, I think their nature is that they have to be on top of what is happening.
Yes.
Otherwise they can't survive.
Yeah.
But for our industry, like that's where I'm coming from. Like I'm looking at analysts that as she mentioned before. Consultants, editors, content creators for marketing, content creators for advertising. Like that kind of knowledge industry, I think there's a huge opportunity to create new businesses, creating innovation. And I want to add what she said before, it is the digital mindset that will create it. Because these tools are very simple.
Yes.
It's you don't have to learn much.
Yeah.
If you just log into ChatGPT, you just have to type what you want. And if you type it, it's a matter of typing it correctly, typing it detailed enough to get the output you need. Even Midjourney is the same thing. So that mindset that knowing it can be done through these AI tools, and knowing that world is doing that we can create opportunities. I'll tell a small example. We have certain firms that we work in user base, like we're outsourcing some of our own work. So for example, we used to write profiles on startups.
Yes.
So we used to outsource that part because it takes about 1 hour, 2 hours to write a profile.
Yes.
Then what happens now, since the ChatGPT came, our internally we figured out very quickly. ChatGPT can do it. Very simple. So we don't need to outsource. Yes. But what I'm saying is that outsourcing firm, right? If they figured out it before us, or if they know it now itself, they still have the business. So that is where you come. You have to know these things. That is the whole point of this discussion. Also, transferring the knowledge that is happening here. That the tools like this are available, and then it's a must that you know this kind of stuff and create, so that you can create vast amount of new businesses. Now, another example I can tell is, again, I think we were speaking to the career guidance head, and she's from English department. I think that industry has a huge opportunity, especially when coming to increasing how much value they can bring, because that basic value can be done through AI. So you don't need to check grammar anymore, because easily grammar can be checked. You can just say check US grammar on this article, check UK grammar in this article. It can be done instantly. So they have opportunity to now think, okay, so I don't need to spend time checking grammar on this. How can I spend time on seeing like what else, what is the creativity part that can be added through this? So those kind of aspects are there as innovation and new opportunities in Sri Lanka with the AI tools.
Yes. So precisely, absolutely, it means now most of the software engineering students, they believe now ChatGPT will replace their job market. So absolutely, it's not the case. What we really should focus is that there will be instances that we can use them to really make some new innovations. So that was the real deal which was going with our panelists today. So now I'm again moving to Professor Ravi. So Professor Ravi, when it comes to the academic perspective, so what role does education play in preparing the current and future workforce for the AI-driven job market? And what changes do you think are necessary in our educational system to cope up with this AI?
Okay, in one word, that's a strategy of collaboration.
Yes.
Because we as a department, we have proven it. But if you look at the university system of Sri Lanka, and it's very open dialogue. So we also have a charge to the industry. They also charge to the universities.
Yeah.
So they say we don't produce people where they can easily, absorb and work. We also charge them.
Yeah.
Rather you criticize why didn't you come to university today, they can collaborate and work. As very correctly mentioned, future digital skills is going to be kind of a compulsory component.
Yes.
Just 10 years before, it was an alternative. Today, knowledge has respect. Knowledge has the opportunity to knock the door and open the door for the interview boards. But how these people pick the people, the differentiation on the skill side.
Yeah.
And skills are quickly outdated. That's the beauty of it. I never say it's a challenge. But we have to produce in our university classrooms people to go and work in global economy. It is not now we are producing people for Sri Lankan company A or company B. Because in a fingerprint, it's just like 1 second, 2 second work, you are connected to the globe. And the future, rather I do think on employee side, we as academics, we have to think on two parties. Digital community and digital customers. So if you don't know how to go and understand the digital community's expectations, our degrees, our professional qualification will be limited to a paper. Education itself cannot make a perfection. We need to create education for people to think. Informed AI users. Sometimes we have seen passive AI users. No, be informed. Getting proper education, we train them, get good education, then you know how to use the AI. And number two, even I connected, in the university system, we had to produce students with digital soft skills. So we had to do a lot of research with these people, collaboration. Last one, whether we like or not, we have to be digital citizens as academics. We have to think on digital platforms. We have to think on digital expectations of different communities. I think with these three, one word compressed, we need to have a collaboration strategy in universities to work with corporates, but no one is perfect. When we bridge the different knowledge, outcome is very beautiful, and the reward would go to people like you.
Yes, absolutely.
So I can add one.
Yes, sir.
And add to what Professor was saying. So that global citizen is another thing that is being promoted by this AI phenomenon industry. We have been hearing it for a long time because the media and everything were coming at us, right? Because we were watching Netflix, which is in USA, we were watching all the movies from. So that was part of the globalization at that time. But now this is a second, another wave of globalization happening where we will work we will be connected with the global, right? Globe. And I mean, professor was asking why I'm not migrating, but the reason is
You are migrated already.
exactly.
Yeah.
I work for an organization who work for the outside world.
Yes.
So using AI, you can do that very easily. That's where we are. That as far as you know what is the tool, how to use it, you can be a global citizen.
Yes.
That's a huge opportunity.
Absolutely. So AI really globalized, so really encompasses the geographical circumstances and make the global village. So then I'm moving towards again Miss Sarah. So Miss Sarah, there's often concerns about AI leading to job displacement. I think this is a very important topic when it comes to software engineering students. They always believe, oh God, we are not having our jobs. Likewise. So how do you think governments, industries and individuals can mitigate to this risk while maximizing the opportunities AI presents for employment and career advancement?
Okay. So if you've got a qualification some time back, and if you've not really looked at reskilling yourself, yes, you're going to lose your job. You're not even getting started anywhere. You're going to be stuck there, and you're going to be faced off. If you guys have checked, I'm sure Ravi will know this. Knowledge doubles every 11 to 12 hours. There's so much of knowledge out there. There are so many things that we need to get ourselves updated, but let go of the things that are no longer valid.
Yes.
So yes, there will be an impact to your job if you're not going to get yourself updated and relevant for the times. However, like we've been saying all this time, there's ample opportunities if you actually reskill yourself, if you unlearn and relearn. There's so much of opportunities, not just for individuals, for organizations, for governments, practically everyone, everywhere. So coming back, governments have a massive role in this. I know there's a lot of focus by HE in Sri Lanka as well on AI. He even talks about climate change and all of that. So that's amazing. But like in India, now India's taken up this program where they want to skill people, and it's like a 10,000 crore project that they're doing, because they know that's the future.
Yes.
So they came up with the digital ID, the Aadhaar card. There's pros and cons, but there has been a lot of benefits, right? If you do travel to India, they're not going to take your money anymore. They use QR codes. Use of technology, right? So similarly, we also should focus, and I know we are doing it in Sri Lanka to some extent, on getting our people trained on these digital skills and AI and so on. So government has a massive role to play. And I know there will be a segment of people who will think, no, very technological averse people, but that resistance will go off once they realize that they can do better things with their time. Coming into companies, a lot of the organizations, the research I was reading in preparation for this session also said that about 40% of people recruited in the US last year had actually been for, AI technology side of things, but not the other side, because obviously they want people to go forward in that. I mean, all businesses are going to be reliant on that. And when it comes to individuals as well, we need to reskill ourselves.
Yes.
Without that, like you rightly said, the jobs will go. But if you take the net, there is an increase in different segments, like the data scientist to the various other roles that's connected to AI. Like he was alluding to, you need to know how to prompt it, right?
Yes.
Prompt ChatGPT. Yeah. You need to know to code things. So you still have roles even for software engineers. Yeah. You will still have, as long as you are aware of the technology as well. You can't, sit on your laurels and say, okay, I qualified like this so long ago and I'm safe. Definitely not.
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. So now I'm moving towards Mr. Thilan again. So, Mr. Thilan, how does the impact of AI on employment and professional growth in Sri Lanka compare to the trends and experiences in other parts of the world?
Okay. Yeah, again, coming to the, so that question, again, I would like to consider Sri Lanka should go same as the rest of the world. Yes. That's the bottom line. I think, so this is a very new phenomena we are looking at, which is, as I said, 1 to 1.5 years old only. So therefore, I don't think it's fair to say, okay, Sri Lanka is behind, because it's still forming, it's still impacting. But so I will just continue what I was saying. As Sri Lankan citizens, this is a huge opportunity in that sense. That if we know these things are happening, and if we, if you understand that it is a huge change, that we should be benefited out of it. And having a fairly large knowledge industry in Sri Lanka already, I think we are in a good position to take advantage of it. Now again, I will tell that the content writing, the English part of it. So we have editors in our organization. We used to have editors, but their job role is now getting different. It's related to the job loss thing, what you mentioned also. So we are actually experimenting right now. We have an editorial guide that they check, like when we write a report. And now we are inserting that to ChatGPT, and then having a prompt to run. Okay, just upload the report, and can you double check these? So they don't need to spend time checking the editorial aspect. So now they are spending time on creative aspects. And if you look at the job loss, actually that's a job loss risk, to be frank, if you are not adjusting to that environment. So in Sri Lanka, coming to your questions, so if you look at the outside world, it is heavily used in organizations right now. I think individual wise, I think there's enough traction that AI is being used by the knowledge workers in the industry, because software engineers, they're definitely using it. As I said, the dialogue example, they have to, and they're the front runners of it. And how they are engineered is, because the programming languages also change very frequent. They can't learn, Visual Basic and be, I'm a Visual Basic expert, because Python has come and changed everything, right? So like that, because they are learning, you don't need to worry about it. But what I say is that the change in the trend is on the organization side, I would definitely say. So organizations in other side of the world are implementing this very fast. Say ChatGPT, came up with their own thing. Then Bloomberg came up with saying Bloomberg GPT.
Yeah.
Then we have competitors for my organization called CB Insights.
Yeah.
They have their own AI tools in their work.
Yes.
So like that, I think Sri Lankan organization need to understand that if you are to thrive, not to survive. I think to survive in Sri Lanka still fine. The way we are doing, it's fine. But to thrive, to grow, this is a good opportunity that we need. If they incorporate this, again, our telecom providers, like they have chatbots in their system, right? And even healthcare system, they have chatbots. But we know it's not really human like yet those, right? And we complain a lot about sometimes those as well. So they can use this technology to improve those, to create a better customer experience. And similarly, this even manufacturing, even other, even cultivation, right? The AI is used heavily in cultivation to figure out the best, seeds, to come up with the formulas of fertilizers, right? So those kind of aspects are the things that I think we need to look at. The businesses side, the leaders of these businesses need to be, educated on those things, so they can implement and benefit out of it.
Yes. So thank you, Mr. Thilan. So then I'm moving towards Professor Ravi. So Professor Ravi, absolutely this question goes regarding our undergraduates. So what's your advice you offer to the undergraduate students who are looking to prepare themselves for the increasing integration of AI in the job market? So specifically, what skills, courses or experiences should they prioritize to position themselves to success in the AI-driven job market?
Yeah, across all subject domains, not business or art faculty, medicine, engineering or IT, all have to understand one thing. They have to get ready their CV themselves, thinking as global citizen and digital citizens. Universities, we had a kind of a cross chat on this. Universities, we have no kids. Universities, 18 plus adults, including you.
Yes.
So adults should not be taught. They should be guided. They should be directed. So our job is to educate them what sort of avenues they have. And now we are talking about this unemployment rates and all this stuff. But when we looked at the experiences we have had in foreign universities, University undergraduates are part-time workers.
Yeah.
It has a recognition. Well, let me use this Sinhala word even, but in Sri Lanka we say kuli weda. There's nothing called that. It's a respectable part-time. So we have enough BPOs here. So why don't you use? Because if you looked at the timetable of university undergraduates, besides the learning, they should have been given decent amount of time for the socialization. Yes, correct. Still you find most important hours. If you look at the 4-year period, it's like 35,000 hours nearly. Look at 35,000 hours, what the magic you can do. Out of 35,000 hours, you take 10%, 3,500 hours to make yourself upskill to the domain of digital economy. No matter whether it is art faculty, science faculty, or business faculty, finally, you will have to go and work in digital community.
Yes.
Digitalization and digitization. First, you have to embed within you as a character. We are a digital citizen. Why don't you? Because we talk about the educated crowd in this country. So these people, there are a lot of ample opportunities in social media today, free of charge courses. They have to search, they have to get ready short-term courses, make your CV decorated with the sought after skills, because you have solid knowledge come from your initial degree program. But you have to make sure that you have to walk to the industry, walk to the global economy. That day you need to have some license. So these are what you call second visa of university undergraduate. You have one visa for a country, second visa for the digital country or digital community. So that part they have to learn themselves. Technology never cut the jobs.
Yes.
50 years before, when that I don't know whether my figures are correct or wrong. When the computers came, people were scared. But computers generated plenty of jobs.
Yes.
AI will be a seed of a lot of jobs. And there you are, opportunities with you. You need to understand how you manage your time. We have enough resources here. If not, go outside, collaborate and work. Think on digital mindset, as Ansary said. And then make yourself digitally ready, graduate in future. So I think that's what the best advice I can give for undergraduates. Always count that 35,000 hours you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I can add just one more
Yes,
point.
absolutely.
So if they do have any spare time, please, I'm sure you guys have a LinkedIn account opened up and all of that.
Yes.
There's ample remote gig jobs available via LinkedIn. Get that work experience. I mean, I know you have to work in a proper physical environment for your internships and all of that, but aside from that, if you have any other time, I'm sure you do. Do those, because you'll learn. And most of these new technologies that we were all talking about is actually available not just in overseas. I know some Sri Lankan companies,
Yes.
the BPOs usually have it. Get those remote gigs, work on those.
And
Get
one
that
quick
experience.
thing adding to undergraduate, please forget about the earn part.
Yeah.
First learn part.
Yes.
Small amount of money, go and learn.
Yeah.
The learn will create huge investment for the huge earning for future.
Yes, absolutely. So finally, I forward this question to all the panelists. So when we look ahead, so what do you envision as the most significant changes or developments regarding AI's impact on employment and professional growth in the next decade? Because most of the guys will go to the job market in the latter part of this decade and in the next decade.
I'll take my first advance, then I'm
Alright.
safe.
Yeah.
Remember, we will talk about knowledge economy. Future is all about smart economy.
Yes.
Smart economy is going to be the next, not even the decade, even from today onwards. Smart economy has no geographical boundaries, no competitiveness. Now companies don't talk about competitiveness, they talk about synergy and compliances and collaborations. The future, these three words will articulate the smart economy. So no even countries per se, no even one market per se. It's like almost integrated economy. So I'm safe, I guess.
Yeah. Mr. Thilan?
Yes. Yeah. So if you're looking into the future, I think that if you're looking as individuals, I think what AI will bring is that fundamental things. You have to be, you have to be perfect. Say if you are an accounting person, certain things you used to do, which are like analyzing the three financial statements, those can be done by the AI now. So how to do it? You have to know, but doing that is not enough. Similarly, if you are writing a report, I'm taking my own example. The language you write, it doesn't matter anymore, because we used to spend a lot of time on how punchy the language, how good we are putting the story and everything, because that can be done through the AI. So so those are kind of foundation stuff. Now again, grammar and spelling, to start with, those has to be adhered all the time. So if you're sending an email, I'm saying you have to run it right through either DeepL or ChatGPT. It will correct everything and it will give you a better version. So that has to be done. If you're not doing it, then you are gone. That is the future. So if you are looking really ahead of the future, I think most of the things we need to be we should be aware that we are supposed to do more human stuff. That is where the creativity, the critical thinking, and what you call collaboration, as the professor was saying, all those matters more and more, because the more and more basic things can be done. It's nothing new what is happening here. Computers came 50 years ago when IBM invented first computers. It's just computing stuff, right? You previously used to do calculations on your just manually, and it is computing, doing the calculations automatically. So it just continues. And what is AI is it's a very complex calculation at the end. It's a huge if function. If you have seen the memes, right? It's a massive if function.
Yes.
If this is there, if that is there, if this is there, this is there, this is the answer, right? So if you understand that factor, that it just continuation of this basic stuff being done by machines, that you will be prepared to do non-basic stuff, complex stuff by yourself.
Yes. Yes, Sarah.
So AI is going to be there in every part of our lives, be it in your studies, be it in your work roles, be it in your personal lives, the whole area. So like they mentioned, there's no escaping from it. So you have to deal with it and then thrive in it. One particular area that I wanted to just bring in here, not trying to promote the qualification, but CIMA, the CIMA qualification that we've both done is now called the CGMA qualification. We brought in so much of tech and AI into it.
Yes.
There's something called the Finance Leadership Program, the digital way of completing the CGMA qualification. And it's offered to university undergrads and to practically anyone, where you completely learn on an AI platform, AI-driven platform. You learn, you finish your competencies, and then you even do the exams online. So even in our exams, all these new technology that we're talking about also gets tested. So not only CGMA, but try and do certifications, qualifications like Professor was alluding to earlier. Do those so you're ahead of the game, because when you go into the corporate world, everyone else is also
Yes.
qualified and so on, but you'll get your edge when you have the latest in your CV or latest skills with you, and that also ideally practical skills where you actually learned and used it as well. So there's no running away. Be prepared for it, and I am sure you will excel as well.
Yes, so absolutely. Today it was really an exciting and informative session. So I think you learned lots of new things from these wonderful panelists who are really experts when it comes to this field. So the impact of AI on employment and professional growth. So guys, as they mentioned precisely, if we think out of the box, we can really generate new job ideas, new entrepreneurial opportunities from AI as well. So don't be scared of AI. AI can be used as well as it can be really used to our growth as well. So I would like to thank our panelists today. First of all, Ms. Zahara Ansary, the country head of AICPA and CIMA. And then I would like to thank Mr. Thilan Sampath, the country head of Uzabase Incorporation. And finally, from our own university, Professor Ravi Dissanayake from the Department of Marketing and Management, University of Kelaniya. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining with us for this wonderful session on AI and how they affect our students as well. So thank you for joining with us on behalf of the Career Guidance Unit of University of Kelaniya.
Okay, you are welcome.
Thank you. So in the hope of joining with you with another exciting and informative session on AI, we would like to wind up for today. Thank you for joining with us.